Good afternoon, this is RFC Maki with one more flight report from War Thunder, played on Xbox One. Oh my god, who puts a house or a castle up on top of a hill like that? I have recently been excited about the addition of custom battles to War Thunder, allowing me to set sim-type rooms. This is one such sim-type room that I played, but of course, in all of my sim rooms, nobody has showed up yet. One of the things I love the most about these new custom battles is the ability to play on some really cool new maps and some cool new missions. In this mission, the goal is to kill the ground troops, which are tanks and vehicles on one side of the map, and these PT boats on the other. I'm flying the Hurricane Mark II, armed with rockets, in an attempt to blow up, just have fun blowing up these rockets, these boats. One of the things I'm really loving about this is the fact that the water effects when the boat blows up creates a big old water splash, and you get to fly right through it. Really awesome stuff. These maps are really great. This is I think I played on this map in a couple arcade games that I did in the very beginning, but it has not been available. I've not seen it in any of the realistic games, and it's not been available to me on Free Flight, but there are many maps available in the custom battles. Here I'm practicing really the Hurricane Mark II because I've been using the Mark II in a lot of online realistic games. I've discovered that it is not a dogfighting machine. It's hard to get kills unless you're going against some sort of miss there. Unless you're going against some kind of bomber, and even then the armor is so thin that you're likely to get shredded. So one of the better strategies in the game is just sort of lurk out of the way as much as possible, then to sneak in and go after the ground targets. To date, I've gotten more than 50 ground targets, but my shooting could be a whole lot better, so I thought, well, there's a hit in there somewhere. This is my chance to practice hitting ground targets. I played this room a number of times where I went after the ships and the tanks or the vehicles and the tanks. That was actually a lot of fun, especially given the wild terrain over on the other side of the map. But this time I was really enjoying just going after these boats. They're fast moving, they fire back, they're not particularly accurate. They fire back, it doesn't give me a chance to hit them. Now the big challenge with anything on the ground I've discovered is that you've got to somehow angle your nose down to shoot at it, but you ought not to dip your nose too much or else you'll crash. In fact, a lot of my earlier versions of these, I did a lot of crashing. There you can see I'm taking a few hits in these PT boats, not much damage. Puncture a hole in the wing here or there, but nothing that's really going to interfere with the flight characteristics of this. But I'm practicing here, trying to go after some ground targets. I have not played a game yet where I've been able to shoot any vehicles. There's another one. I have not been able to shoot any vehicles in the water. I think I saw an arcade version of one way early on, or maybe it was a realistic version early on, but I have not done much of that lately. Most of the maps seem to be Essen maps that I wind up playing in the realistic versions. I'm enjoying the reflection of the mountains on the water, the flak, the smoke, the water explosions, the water effects as the boats go racing. There's a lot of really nice things here. And I believe there were 8 of these boats. For me, oh, another one done. And you'll notice the more of these I kill, the more my team actually wins. I have not won a whole lot of these custom battles, mostly because I spend my time hunting airplanes, trying to shoot down some bombers and things. And all the airplanes and bombers on the other side of the map. None of the AI vehicles came after me on this map. But still, this map is a lot of fun, and I added it to my favorites. I'll be loading this one a number of times. In fact, I think this is also one where you could just fly around a bit, ignore most of the game, just to look at the cool terrain and fly in some really nice areas. So we're getting closer and closer to the Allied AI boats. Not quite there yet, and you can see every once in a while they'll start to fire, and I think they actually pick off 1 or 2 of these boats for me, or at least they finish off 1 or 2 of these boats for me. I believe I've got 3 left at this point, and so the trick is to reverse on them. The Hurricane does not reverse very quickly, and so I kind of have to fly a decent distance past them. I also have to try to maintain my speed somewhere below 350 kilometers an hour. Did a terrible shot. I thought I had a shot there. I thought I had a hit there, and I missed it. I believe I'm going to go for another pass here in a second and completely miss as well. I'm discovering in order to get any maneuverability, your speed needs to be somewhere between about 200 and 350 kilometers per hour. you go much faster than that and you wind up losing maneuverability. So here I'm trying to maintain a slightly lower speed and get reverse on them. If I don't go enough distance, then I can't get enough of reverse, and then I wind up missing shots like I did there. So 2 passes, no hits. Probably turning a little sharply here, but that's fine. Here I'm going to ignore the first boat since I can't turn on it quickly enough, and go after one of the other 2 that I got down here. I got a hit there, take a hit, fly through the smoke, pretty nice. And you can see I'm coming up on some of my allied boats who are shooting back at these guys. So a little fly past, 2 guys left. This is sim, so nobody is marked with anything, but these guys are not so hard to see because they got a little white wake next to them, and you can use the radar to help you figure out who's what. Another kill there, leaving me 1 boat left. And you can see that my allied PT boats are facing off against him. And you'll see that here in a second, when I get a shot on him, I think I get a couple of hits, but I'm not the one that blows him up. I believe that must be the PT boats that blow him up. So according to my radar, there are no more boats to hit. I ignore that, and then I decided, well, let me go ahead and see, just a little bit left in the game, see if I can't go take out a couple of those little ground targets. It's a little bit of a flight, but the flight's actually quite nice. It's a really cool terrain on this map. So it looks like all the PT boats are gone. So now I can turn my way inland. There's a little town and a bridge, and both sets of vehicles are heading to the little plateau next to the bridge. That's where all the trauma happens. So I figured I'd go ahead and just do a little bit of a quick flight over there, watching the fact that the tickets for the red team are really low, and hoping I can sort of bend this game in my favor. Not that it matters much. Again, for custom battles, you don't get any victories or kills or ground kills or anything recorded. You won't be able to use this to unlock skins. You won't be able to use this to upgrade your planes. On the other hand, if you get shot down, it costs you nothing as far as lion points go, and there's no problem in flying. I did have a case where originally I wanted to fly this plane in this game, but I couldn't do it because it had been damaged in an online battle and I was letting it repair without paying for it, and so it was not available to me even in custom battles. Like I said, nobody has joined my games. Part of that I think is because people don't like realistic settings or sim type settings, and particularly I think it's because people don't like being locked in the cockpit. I'm hoping to find a handful of players who enjoy it, and maybe if they see my name in a room, they'll know who it is and they'll come and join in. So there's the little town off to the left, nestled amongst the hills, and above that is a plateau with a road. That's where the enemy vehicles were driving through, down a little canyon into the plateau down below to the right. So I figured I'd go ahead and see if anybody was sitting at the top of the hill. A couple of planes around you can see up above, and here I go through the little plateau where they're following the road down. You should see a couple burnt out vehicles scattered along the roads there, those little dark ones already destroyed. But my radar tells me up ahead there's a couple vehicles. I slow way down to get a shot at them. You can see the dust from one of the vehicles there, so I go ahead and give it a burst and blow up that target, making the game all but over. I think there's 1 vehicle left. But you'll also see one of the enemy AI planes got on my tail and licked me up. Holes everywhere. You can see I've got no water left, no oil left, my fuel is leaking, and my engine kicks out here. I was hoping to try to find somewhere safe to let down, but looks like I died. Hope you enjoyed this. See you guys next time.